overdue. This book seeks to do that, with a specific focus on the married vocation. I believe, however, that listeners who are single or in other vocations will find that it speaks to them as well. Ignatius's rules are universal. They apply to all, in all vocations. In this book, I employ the methodology I use when I present the rules, and which is, to my mind, the most effective: a focus on St. Ignatius's words and their illustration through examples. Each of the 14 chapters corresponds to one of the 14 rules. Each chapter contains 2 parts: experience and explanation. The chapter begins with a concrete experience in married life. The experience is then explained in the light of the corresponding rule. These experiences are taken from the life of Mark and Anne, who, by the 2nd chapter, are married. Mark and Anne are not 2 concrete persons by that name. They are amalgams of the spiritual experiences of husbands and wives as they have shared this through these 40 years. These examples might be called reflected examples. They are real in that they reflect what occurs when married people live the spiritual life. Mark and Anne's story is continuous from chapter to chapter, a kind of semi-novel. The book's purpose is to portray the rules in daily married life, and so aid listeners to recognize and respond to this experience in their own lives. From my earliest days of working with St. Ignatius's rules, I have seen in them an expression of Jesus' mission as described in Luke chapter 4. "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to captives and to let the oppressed go free." Verse 18. The purpose of these rules is to set captives free, to offer a path toward freedom to love and serve the Lord in daily life. May they guide spouses to that freedom and to the blessings that follow in their marriages and families. 1. A loving assault on the heart. First rule of St. Ignatius. In persons who are going from mortal sin to mortal sin, the enemy is ordinarily accustomed to propose apparent pleasures to them, leading them to imagine sensual delights and pleasures in order to hold them more and make them grow in their vices and sins. In these persons, the good spirit uses a contrary method, stinging and biting their consciences through their rational power of moral judgment. "I never told you," Mark said, "how I saw you for the first time." "You don't have to tell me," Anne replied. "I remember it well." "I don't mean that day," Mark said. "I saw you once before then." "You did?" "Yes, and I want to tell you about it." "I'd love to hear it." "Let me ask, why do you want to tell me today?" "Because it's important to me that you know this now. We are talking about marriage, and we both want it. But before we take that step, I want you to know where I've been in the past. Then you can decide. You know how I feel about you. But yes, tell me. And thank you." "Thank you?" "Yes, for sharing about yourself in this way." "I will," Mark said. "But it's not easy." It was the afternoon of a fall day. Mark and Anne sat on a park bench, looking at the lake before them and the small island across the water. The sun shone upon the fall foliage. Distant sounds of traffic filtered through the air. Where they sat, all was quiet. "I've told you about my family," Mark said, "but I've never said much about God. I know that's important to you, and so I want to tell you where I've been with God. I'm not proud of it, but it matters to me that you know, and that you know now before we make plans for the future."